Friends and family, thank you for joining me here at the American News Network with Chris Sanders. Kalinka is being released into outer space today. Now, what is Kalinka? Kalinka is basically Putin's war weapon to take on Elon Musk and to drown and to take out the satellites of Starlink, starting with the Starlink satellites over the Ukraine. So Kalinka is getting used. Now we're also wondering about all these things as far as what's going on in the world. 38,000 troops moved from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base because these drones are all ours, right? Now, as far as we know, they might be looking at nuclear cargo. That's what we're being told. So I'm going to give you a couple of theories. I'm going to tell you that they're China's drones, a lot of them that are being in conjunction with ours, and we're sniffing out nuclear cargo because we had radioactive materials that turned up missing on December the 2nd. Since then, we've been sniffing for radioactive materials. Now, the drones also were spotted over New Jersey's water system. To me, that's kind of suspicious. Are they planting stuff there? What are these drones doing? Because we have 300 viruses that are being released. These are all like kind of true, interesting, weird facts that are going on right now, and I'm just kind of bringing them to your attention. But we have France and Canada that are basically hitting the plug, and they're going to be going down the drain. What is the Zhu Hai Yun? I talked about it 2 years ago. This is the mothership, one of the first ones that China made. That's right, a couple of years ago. This is the mothership. It ain't Iran, it's China. This is the mothership. This was phase 1, test 1, Yuhai 1. This is the first one they made. And it was capable of basically 50 plus drones. They've kind of taken this technology far. I'm going to tell you something. I think they have microwave technology, and they're able to hit people from afar. We had Alex, a young man, hit it on stage, and also word is out that Biden and Alex had a massive stroke today. I don't know if that's true, but just keep your ears low to the ground. We're hearing about that right now. And this is another thing that I just got to let you know. This was the old first generation warship that China came up with. Now the second one they're calling, basically it's an unmanned one. And these are the babies that I think are off the coast of New Jersey and California that are the motherships to 500 plus. This thing can go like 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, and it's pretty big, 390 feet long. It's a Chinese unmanned drone mothership, and it's putting stuff in the water to track our subs and in the air. And again, I've got some stuff to read out here in a bit, but what China's telling us is not what China's telling Russia. It's not what China's telling Putin and the ex-president of Russia. China is being duplicitous. Their goal is to take us over. It's not Russia's. But who created all these diseases? Who's violating our patents? China. Who's got a lot of orbs? Who's got a lot of balloons? Who's paying off our politicians besides Israel? China. So this is the new war weapon, and I'm just wanting you to see it. It's basically virtually invisible, and it's hard to even get near because it's very fast. It's a trimaran, and that this was phase 2 of the largest unmanned warship drone mothership of China. So we have our drones, and I'm not doubting that we do, and we're sniffing around for the nuclear radioactive cargo that was stolen on December the 2nd. The event number I posted down there. I'm going to go over some things here with us really quickly. So Iran calls out for the death of Netanyahu. And over the invasion of Syria, we're seeing a unification of all the Arab nations against Israel and the United States. They're going to unite. Trudeau is going to be excavating and leaving stage left like Snagglepuss even, coming to New York. And Trump's even going to talk here in a bit, and he's not going to New Jersey where there's a lot of activity. I've noticed something. Drone activity in California, New York, Florida, New Jersey. Areas that have the highest demographics and populations. Why are the drones sniffing for basically atomic bombs? And we have 80 of them that are missing. They're not in the Ukraine. What did our shadow government do with those puppies? And I'll remind you, we had 818 plus trains with a lot of suspicious cargo. Now radioactive cargo. Now drones that they're not being transparent to you and me about. And they're flying over our water reservoirs, while we have 300 plus missing viruses from the laboratory. Now, we have China, Russia, Iran, the United States. Whose drones are they? The easiest thing would be to say aliens. But truly, I believe that China is allowed to do what they want, just like with the balloons, with our country. And I'm showing you the high-tech ships that they have. And this is no joke. These are ships that they've released. These are motherships for drones. We are seeing drones that land in the ocean and then move quickly. Okay, so we had a radioactive leak and something was stolen on December the 2nd, 2024 in New Jersey. It's called the event, and its events numbers 57455. Again, we've had some radioactive cargo. Don't know what kind, what class. Could be a nuclear bomb for all I know. It's event number 57455. And I believe that that's what we're looking for, is where did that go? At the same time, something that's making a lot of news is the fact that there are 80 nuclear bombs that Putin has been looking for and that we have been looking for a long time. And again, our UFOs, our drones are sniffing around New York, New Jersey, Florida, and also California, areas where there's the highest demographics. Libya is being attacked right now as we speak. That's right, Libya is. And I'm going to warn you that Chuck Schumer wants some answers on these UFOs, and if you don't give it to him, he's going to stick his wife out on everybody. And if we get her and Hillary together, even Putin's going to get pretty weak in the knees over that kind of business. So we got Chinese spy satellites, we got Chinese drones. This is a Chinese mothership right here that you're seeing. And what do? It collects how many people are there, what kind of response we have, how many guns we have, what kind of weapons, what kind of defense we have. This is what they're collecting. They have an AI computer system that works with what's called CubeSats in outer space. They're basically microwave ovens, and their goal is to nuke our brains from outer space. I'm telling you, that's their war strategy. It's different. Okay, it's injections, and it's now radiating us. I don't know if it's just through 5G and CubeSats, but that is the way in which they want to get us. And they've got all these drones that they can use in low orbit. And now with Kalinka being released, remember why? Well, because China and Russia knows that the best defense that America has is Starlink. So today they're going after, as countries, they're going after Elon Musk jointly together. And he can hit Starlink out of the sky with this Kandar already, just so you know. Israel also today cuts off power and water and supplies to the people of Syria, and this angers the people of all of the Arab nations together as they start unifying. And we have Yemen and the Houthis and everybody kind of unifying, as we also have Israel getting bombed today. In other words, the seeds of Abraham are not getting along, but that has not changed. And I'm just letting you know, biggest threat we have is the Jowdy USVA and the strike and all that type stuff in Kalinka that's going on. China has got a fractional orbitable bombardment system. They have nukes in outer space that are in orbit, but so do we. So I'm just letting you know that's how far all this is. And they're claiming that at this point that they have put bombs in our satellites, and so we could wake up and have basically all of our cell phones not work, or we're working under Chinese clone satellites. But China's angle is to take us over. Keep in mind, they're making our phones, and we don't know all the transistors that are in there and where they're going to report to. And they have one enemy in their book, America, and it's us. Russia is not necessarily our enemy like you think. They're not giving us viruses. They're not putting drones over our skies. And they're not, paying off our politicians to the extent that China and Israel is. So at this point, Putin and Xi Jinping are putting a strike on Starlink. And I'm going to read here in a bit a joint letter that was sent in. Just so you know, also this week, the Ukraine, they reached out and they actually attacked and hit Kursk in Russia. We had North Koreans respond, then go into the Ukraine and take over 3 villages. So the North Koreans are officially involved. Then in the Ukraine, they attacked Chechnya. And so the Chechen leaders vowed to have Kiev destroyed by Christmas. Again, we have Canada and France collapsing. Russia again tells its citizens not to be in areas of conflict. And North Korean troops wipe out 3 towns as they defend Russia in Kursk. Kalinka is now being launched. These missiles are going into outer space to go after specifically Starlink satellites over the Ukraine today. We have 5 weeks left till freedom. Yeah, 5 weeks, 35 days. Can we make it? And we've heard just today that Biden, just like Alex, I'm going to let you see Alex's stroke, but could the drones be using this war weaponry now? Putin is readying Sarmat. Bangladesh tries to clear itself of all of its trash as we have tornadoes in California. And also on this day, we have a massive deal as China and Russia do a massive drone deal. Biden selling off our border, $5 on $100. You can go buy it basically at governmentplanet.com, and I think it's treason. And we shouldn't be allowing him to sell our border because it's violating our peace and tranquility and general welfare in the United States. Another news, ABC, they crumble, and before they go to court because of George Stephanopoulos' defamation. He said Trump raped E. Jean Carroll when in fact he did not. So before anything could be said, they've agreed and succumbed to a $15 to $16 million settlement to build President Trump his library coming up. Now, at the same time, shouldn't America be able to defund ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and PBS? All those stations, CNN, that are spreading garbage should not get government subsidies. In fact, they should look at different angles. People like Joe Rogan, Doug TenNapel, Redacted. There's a lot of other news sources that have proven to be credible to the country. But again, we have 80 missing nuclear bombs from the old Soviet Union, and we can't find them. I fear our own government more than I do anything else. And it's kind of sad to say, but I'm just letting you know. This whole entire war has gone into outer space, and again, basically China was very transparent as far as saying that they put a bomb in a lot of our satellites after thrusters that's going to take them offline. And what you're seeing behind me is the actual, in green here, the bomb. Since they fabricated it, they knew exactly how it would fit into the after thrusters of our satellites, just like you're seeing right here behind me. And we're going to wake up one day and none of our stuff's going to work. And this is part of the reason why. Our satellites aren't going to be able to navigate because they've even admitted this. They've put these things in the after thrusters. They've even got a claw satellite. I've showed that. And this thing's going to go off on Americas, such as with Sarmat, maybe Poseidon, while we have a Reshnik going into Europe. Now, I'm going to let you know that at the same time, Xi Jinping is completely lying to Trump, and he's being duplicitous as hell. So I'm going to read several little statements as far as what he said to the president. This is Medvedev, and he says that the U.S. wants Taiwan, but China wants it. And he says the U.S. and China have opposing approaches and interests regarding the Silk Road and India. And China sees India as an important link to this initiative, but faces resistance due to political differences. The U.S., on the contrary, supports India as a strategic partner in opposing China in this conflict of interest, intensifies the competition between the two superpowers that are in the region. Now, the China and the United States consensus and the breakdown of the relationship will always be associated with the devaluation of the yuan, and the ruble is also devaluing, and this jump will also be the devaluation of the yuan. And it was similar with the reduction in the Chinese and the American trade in 1991 when we were at like 9 to $1 with the yuan. But at this moment, China's making limits, okay? And they're trying to make a supply of batteries. And by controlling the battery angle, that's their whole entire market. And this may be part of a larger strategy in the context of a trade war and the technological competition with the United States, okay? So, again, now China is holding its largest military exercises in recent years, and they occupied the eastern part of the Pacific while they are no longer informing Taiwan, and they have a barricade of 40 ships around Taiwan right now at the present moment. While China pretends to build bridges with Trump, at the same time Medvedev in his visit to China reports on the position of China. And he's basically saying that he wants to work jointly with Russia to demolish the United States before Trump can get into office. So we have Russia being transparent with us, and we have a duplicitous China ready to strike us, ready to take over, in my opinion, Alaska. And Russia thinks that we're in a violation of the purchase agreement on that, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So again, we have Libya being attacked, and we have oil kind of going everywhere. But this is the refineries of Libya. We don't have Gaddafi, but one of Libya's main refineries in the west has been shut down after clashes began, and their local armed groups erupted on Sunday, causing fires of the infrastructure of the state company of NOAC. Several tanks of the Wahi refinery in a town 45 kilometers from Tripoli, in one in the western town of Libya's in the market, caught on fire. And according to everything, it's still burning as we speak. Okay. So we have I guess they're out for Bibi's head. The Ayatollah wants it. He's publicly said it. And I'm going to show you some stuff here in a bit that I thought was pretty interesting. But the thing that, made me kind of scared is that, keep in mind, Chuck Schumer, he wants some answers. And Chuck's a pretty scary guy. And he wants some swift answers we're seeing, as far as these orbs. Some of them are going from like an orb into something that looks like a plane. So we're seeing morphing. We're seeing several different kinds of orbs. I think that our government's looking for nuclear material, but I think that China has also got stuff around. Keep in mind, Russia is shooting down Starlink over the Ukraine. It's just a matter of time until they do that for us as well, in my opinion. Again, Uncle Chuck, he is demanding some answers. And if and this is a warning to Russia, if not, we're going to send his wife in. She looks pretty tough. And we might even send Hillary Clinton in too. So two of our toughest, baddest chicks might be coming after you for the red, white, and blue. And we got Uncle Chuck there showing these pictures, but he's had it with all these different drones. He wants some answers. And, if Chuck Schumer's worried about stuff, then I'm going to be worried about stuff right there. Now, Alex Brucewitz. This is very interesting here because the way he fell. So just listen to this. And we had Joe Biden fall to the same type of way. So I want you to pay attention to this too. And this happened today as this part of the drones. This is why I bring this up. So this is a long time Donald Trump advisor. So
Raheem Kassam for the nice introduction. And he made me sound much cooler than I actually am. But I think it's because of the accent. That's a very nice accent, Raheem. But it's a great pleasure to be back speaking with you all tonight.
Several minutes into the speech, however, is when Brucewitz began to struggle to remember what he wanted to say next, and then appeared to slur his words before collapsing.
And this man stood with President Trump through the toughest of times. He stood with him through frivolous impeachments, to a rigged election, to a sham. Oh no, I'm forgetting my words. But a sham impeachment.
Several people.
Okay, they're trying to downplay this, but he's still in the hospital, even since last night. So over 24 hours, it's like he's stroked. And even though this looks very major, okay, I'm letting you know this looks major. Supposedly Biden had the exact same kind of incident last night. My question is, remember when Trump was on stage and everybody's eyes were hurting? There are these direct energy weapons that could be used from either drones or even these type of handguns, but I think the technology is out there. It's not just bullets. But we have this young man in his 20s. I think he's 27. Alex is 27. And to be, 27 years old and to collapse on stage like that, that's just not natural. So I'm going to let you just hear it again.
Oh no, I'm forgetting my words. But a sham impeachment.
All right, so there you go.
This scary moment came Sunday night.
Okay, so there you go, and this is, it's almost like this sudden death syndrome, but this is Alec Brusowitz, 27. He claps on stage mid-speech at a gala.
Thank you, Sam, for the nice introduction, and he made me sound much cooler than I actually am. But I think it's because of the accent. That's a very nice accent, Raheem. But it's a great pleasure to be back speaking with you all tonight.
Several minutes into the speech, however,
Okay, and then again, like a few minutes into the speech, he was giving a great speech, and then boom, you see the stroke that he had at 27 years old.
President Trump, through the toughest of times, he stood with him through frivolous impeachments, to a rigged election, to a sham. Oh no, I'm forgetting my words. But a sham impeachment.
All right, so this stuff, it's happening all too often. It's not natural. This is breaking news from President Trump. He's reacting onto the drones. Don't be around the drones.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big dislike.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Do you have any reason to think they're a threat?
Two quick questions. First, on.
Okay. So that's one thing. He's canceling his trip to New Jersey where there are these drones. Okay, so the president's going to cancel his trip to an area because there's a lot of drone activity. And I just told you about this event where they're searching for radiation. And now also through a lot of other credible news agencies, we're talking about the fact that there's 80 nuclear bombs, big ones from the old Soviet Union, that could be being used by the shadow government of the United States to save their souls, to cover their crimes. Would they do another Oklahoma City bombing? You know, that's where all the paperwork was that was going to impeach Clinton, but it got destroyed. You see, they learned this long ago. And in the meantime, I'm trying to free Leonard Peltier. I'm trying to free the January Sixers. We're trying to make it 35 more days. While we have all these drones, and we already know that there's a link I put up here that's, you know, showing you the exact model of drones that the government is using. It's a kind of a hybrid. It's got 4 blades on it. It's like a chopper / airplane. And it's going down late at night because they're trying to be inconspicuous, in my opinion, as they're trying to sniff around for radioactive cargo. Now, when I was listening to one of these reports, it said, look at this drone, it's over the New Jersey water thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, now this could be bad. What if one of these drones, since they're not being transparent to us, was putting bad stuff in the New Jersey and the New York water system? And remember, there's now all these diseases that have been stolen from a laboratory, and our government's not being transparent. And if anything, we need to do Article 5, and we need to kick all these impersonators out because we don't know whose drones these are. And in 35 days, even though Russia's being transparent, we have proof from Russia that China wants to work with Russia to take us over right now. That's what I wanted you to know. So we're looking for radioactive cargo anywhere in which you see these drones. In my opinion, please film it with your camera and understand these are areas of interest to our government where they think that there could be maybe radioactive cargo or a nuclear bomb. Now, remember, 818 trains with chemicals are missing. They're going to blame this on Russia. They're trying to blame this on Iran. The people that are doing the blaming are the people that I fear the most. We need to make sure that Kash Patel and Elon Musk and Vivek and Tulsi Gabbard and everybody that he's putting together can make it into office. We got 35 days. One of his big guys, Elon Musk, keep in mind, Putin's putting missiles in space today, right now, to knock Starlink out of the sky over the Ukraine. Europe's next. Next it'll be the United States. China's got a claw satellite on our satellites, and I believe that we made a mistake when we let them make our phones and put all these 5G devices throughout the United States. It's something that we don't need. It's nothing that's going to make us healthy again. We need to get China out of our food systems. We need to get chemicals out of our food systems. And we have answers with, believe it or not, probiotics and mushrooms and ways to chelate basically chemicals out quickly so that we can grow our way back into independence. And perhaps now's the time to shut down trade, increase tariffs, and the only way that's going to make that a realistic goal is to kind of be jerks but go down there and take back over the Panama Canal, bring our Navy back home, use the Gulf of Mexico, and everywhere that we need to. And if we're going to make Canada the 51st state, I'm going to suggest we make Mexico the 52nd, go down to Cuba, Venezuela, Panama, Costa Rica, and call it a day in the nombre de Jesus. In the name of Jesus, we can work together, and we can win, because that's the beautiful thing. You can throw out Venezuela, America, and all the countries, but you know what we share in common despite our countries? Jesus. We just need to unite with the countries that believe in Jesus. And then we've won. Just believe in the countries that have similar beliefs. What does Venezuela need? Food. What do we need? Their oil. But we have the same beliefs. That's a beautiful miracle. Same thing with Mexico, same thing with Costa Rica. And through Jesus, people say, somehow Jesus has got us, and I'm telling you, that's it. Strip away the politicians and look at the countries that believe and share our beliefs and form an alliance with those countries. Regain the Panama Canal. And what I'm telling you is when I look at America, North America and South America, you know what I see? Jesus. And that's the answer. And that's how we'll win. I want you to know there's nothing to worry about as long as we stay here and we just keep to ourselves. There's a war over there that they're fighting, the seeds of Abraham, that their hearts are so heavy and hard. Whether it's the Jews or the Muslims, they're going to fight it out forever. And, look at us. We're taken from the very best Jew of all. The one that you rejected is the cornerstone of our faith. And if you could just do unto others the way you want done to you, none of this would happen. None of these missiles would fly. So we need to invest and form an alliance with the countries that do believe in Jesus. Because when I do look at Israel and Syria and the Middle East, I'm seeing savagery and hate. And I think that message was more for his own people than even for us, but we've been blessed to understand the importance of love. Putin is gearing up. He believes that the Zionists have infiltrated the Congress of the United States, and Putin and Trump have formed an alliance to go after the LGBT. However, we need to pull out of that other side where there's Jews and Muslims and people that are basically in a disagreement. And we need to concentrate on America. Then we need to concentrate, if anything else, on Ireland, England, Australia, and New Zealand, and form an alliance with those of us that know how to be taxed, know what insurance is, and know what love is about. Because we can't have civilizations matriculating into our communities that don't know what tax is, that don't know what insurance is, and therefore leave the rest of us crippled. So anyways, that's what we're looking at here today. There's a lot of things. But I believe that we're looking for nuclear cargo. I think that we need to be very vigilant, and we need to make sure that nothing happens. We need to be our brother's keeper. My name's Chris Sanders. Thank you for joining me here at the American News Network. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stream this on any other platform that you need to. The only way that we're winning this is by communicating with each other. God bless each and every one of you. Amen.